In the previous lecture, we had an overview of Canvas. In this one, we'll see some of the methods that we discussed in previous lecture. For instance, here we'll try to first of all draw a line using Canvas draw methods. For that, we have to make use of the script tag. So here I'll be introducing the script tag and closing it as well. Once that's done, inside this script block, I'll be declaring, let's say, a variable called line, and this line will actually point to the canvas line ID. So here I'll say get element by ID, and then I'll pass the ID of the canvas element. Once that is done, I'll also have a context variable. Here the context variable is the 2D API that we'll be making use of. So we'll say line dot get context, and here inside this I'll have 2D defined. Now once that's done, I'll be making use of the context variable that I've created, and using the move to method, I'll first of all set the coordinates xy to 0, 0, that is top left, and then using the same context dot line to method, here I can specify another xy coordinate, and finally using the context dot stroke, I'll be completing this line. So let's run this and see it in action. You'll also see that I have provided a style attribute over here, so the border of this canvas tag will be black. So here you can see that it starts from 0 to 0 and then it's going to this 200, 100. Similarly, if I want to increase this one, like height is 700, width is 500, so I can say 500, 700. That way it will be a diagonal line, as you can see in this over here. So that way we have just now seen how to make use of the line to method to draw a line. Now we can also draw or render some text as well. For instance, if I just copy this canvas tag over here and let's say have it just below it, so here I'll be making use of this as canvas text, and let other stuff be like that only. Here I'll again copy this whole thing, and this time the ID will be canvas text, and obviously it's not going to be line. I'll be taking it as text, so I'll say text dot get context. Again you can have the context reassigned, and this time if I have to write a text, I'll make use of the method called fill text, even though this was not mentioned in the previous lecture, but I thought of introducing it over here when we are discussing how to make use of Canvas API. So I'll be removing all these three now, and here instead of that I'll be making use of context dot font, and let's give it some font size. So I'll say 28 pixels and Arial, and after that I'll say context dot fill text, and inside that, hello there, HTML5 canvas. Okay, and then you can also specify where exactly you want this text to render. For instance, if I say 10, 70, okay, and if I now run this one, so there you have the text being rendered, and here you are having a line. So you can see that you can cater to different kind of objects, basically like images, custom drawing objects, text. And if I just show you the source code over here, you can see that it's rendered as an image here also. Let's view source over here, and all you have is this. And if I go ahead and inspect it in the debugger console, here this is what you're getting, the canvas, and this is the script tag coming up. Similarly, you can do many other stuff like creating a gradient, linear gradient or circular gradient, or an image itself. For instance, if I have some image, so here you can see that I have one image inside the images directory, and that's HTML5.png. Now what I want is to have that image inside the canvas tag. To do that, I can simply create another canvas tag over here, and I'll say canvas image, and other stuff, let it be like that. Here again I'll be creating the image variable, so var image is equal to document.getElementById, and this time the ID will be canvas image, and obviously the context will change, so I'll just have the context over here as image, and then we'll have another variable, let's call it as image equal to new image, and here I'll have this img.onLoad equal to another function, and inside this function I'll have the context dot draw image, and then I'll pass the image variable over here that I've created, and then I'll also specify the XY coordinate, let's say 0, 0. Once that's done, I'll be setting the src of it over here, and as you can see it's inside the images directory, so I'll say images / HTML5.png, and that is also done now. Let's save this and see it in action now. So now let's go ahead and see it in action. There you go. You have jawline over here, text rendered, and then image as well loaded inside the canvas tag. In the next lecture we'll take a look at the drag and drop API feature in HTML5.